Hello and welcome back to my channel, Miss Medieval. My name is Lauren. I am Miss Medieval. This is Sir Reginald. He's taken up a new hobby this week. As you can see, he's getting into birds. Having a great time. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why the Dark Ages weren't so dark. I discussed this a little bit in the last video, but the first thing that comes to mind is, Europe must have been populated by pure buffoons who sat in filth and lived in darkness. No, my friends, no. We'll be making separate videos for many of these topics, and disclaimer, this is an incredibly short list. We have to fit it into just a few minutes. Topic 1, universities. Ever heard of a university? Opened in the Middle Ages. Oxford, Cambridge. Oh yeah. There was already teaching happening at Oxford in 1096. Over 900 years ago. The founding of the university itself followed, with Cambridge being founded in the 1200s. These two Dark Age universities are still world-renowned for their excellence. Right, another academic achievement, there's the small matter of the Magna Carta. Now, Magna means great, Carta, charter. Great charter. This was basically everybody getting real mad at Prince John. Now, if you don't know who Prince John is, let's think of the animated version of Robin Hood from Disney Channel, and then you'll remember who I'm talking about. He was the sleazy lion. Yeah, not a good dude. The Magna Carta was created in order to calm Prince John the heck train down in 1215. As seen in the film, he was a bad dude. His barons basically just refused to take it anymore. It has served as the inspiration for legal documents and even nation founding documents, the Declaration of Independence, for countries such as the United States, India, and China. In most cases, what we often end up having is people adhering more to the spirit of the law than the letter of the law, because a lot of times information about, medieval issues isn't always applicable. But in any case, the spirit of everybody standing up to the big mean lion prince and saying, "Oh my gosh, you suck so hard," remains. In this period, we also see the adoption of Arabic numerals. These are also sometimes called Hindu Arabic numerals. These were used in India, North Africa, and the Middle East during this time. These numbers came to Europe through the work of mathematicians and astronomers. Now onto architecture. Architecture might be one of the more obvious wins of the Middle Ages in Europe, because you still see so much of it today. Europe is still very famous for it. There's a medieval church right down the road from me right now. It's fantastic. Let's talk specifically about castles and cathedrals. They dominate the landscape, people. They're still in use. There are some that have had continuous worship for over 800 years. Continuous. That's impressive. To me, they are the greatest art and example of genius of the period. They're just so amazing and so beautiful. Companies use them for films, documentaries, which that last one's a bit obvious. People get married in them. It's incredible. They're still used for festivals. You can do a load of stuff in a castle. Cathedrals are still used for all of those things as well as worship. I cannot even begin to tell you how much I love cathedrals. I love visiting them. I love touching them. I love smelling them. I love reading about the stories. I love seeing the little rooms off to the side where they have excavations. Oh my goodness. I just love them so much. The point is, these buildings that are still standing in 2019 are a testament to the truly incredible workmanship and architecture of the Middle Ages. On to art. The artistic developments of the Middle Ages are often overlooked in favor of the Renaissance. Medieval art is often dismissed because of a lack of perspective, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't tell us a lot about the time period, a lot about where people's mindset was, and a lot about what was important. They did their best, and there was this thing called insular art. We're going to have a look at that. We are talking rich, beautiful colors, gold used to decorate art and letters, and we're not even talking about big canvases. We're talking delicate pages in manuscripts. The amount of detail is staggering. People literally had to devote their lives to this. Larger pieces were created for things like churches and castles, and while you may not think it's beautiful personally, if you saw medieval art, you would definitely recognize it. Literature! One of my favorite topics. Am I saying favorite too much? I don't care. Literature. We know that the lack of literature is apparently the main reason the Dark Ages got called that. But let's think about this for a second. Canterbury Tales, anyone? Chaucer? Morte d'Arthur? Have any of you ever heard of King Arthur? Don't say it's lame. If you're uninterested, that's fine. But people who say that medieval literature is lame, they're lame. So, were the Middle Ages a non-stop learning workshop? Okay, maybe not necessarily. But there was still a lot of learning happening. They were not just sitting in the dark, in the rain, waiting for the sun to come out for 5 seconds so that they could rake up the mud and hopefully find some seeds in it. There was beauty, there were advancements, and there were long-lasting accomplishments that would shape the European world for years to come. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope to see you next time. Do not be afraid to subscribe, and we'll see you later.